Mayor, we're ready to start as soon as you're ready.
Do we have quorum?
We do not.
Okay. Let's see.
Call cannot be completed as dialed.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are we ready? Oh, that's it. Thank you very much. It's 2:05. Today it's January 26, 2021. This is the second council meeting for the year 2021. Again, we hope that 21 is better than 2020. And we're going to have an update about COVID-19. And I hope that Commander Brunson has an answer on when the city of North Miami will have a COVID-19 vaccine site for the residents who are interested to get the vaccine. I understand we are short of supplies because we watch on TV someone have to come all the way from Naples to get a vaccine here in Broward County. But at the same time, we have to start preparing when the vaccine is available. So we have a site in the city of North Miami. Good afternoon, everyone. The meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk.
Councilman Galvin?
Here.
Councilwoman Estimate Irvin,
Present.
Councilwoman Keys. Here. Councilman Desilme,
Here.
Mayor Bienaimé.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. And now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance with Major James Mazidor from the North Miami Police Department, followed by invocation with our chief. Now, who's going to do the invocation? It's Pastor Mike Davis from Prince of Peace MB Church, Inc.
Good afternoon. Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the
republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And now, Pastor Mike Davis.
Good evening to each and every one of you. And also Happy New Year. At this time, if all hearts and minds are clear, let us pray. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we call upon your holy name at a time when our country is in uproar and our neighborhoods are in disarray. But we know that you can fix them, oh Lord. Lord, we ask you to continue to watch over our police department as they watch over us through the night. Protect them and shield them from all hurt, harm, or danger. Father, look on our government, our local government. Father, let them continue to make the right decisions for our citizens and our neighbors, and let them continue to unify us. You said in your word to let not our hearts be troubled. And we know that we're going through uncertain times, and we just ask for your protection. We ask for your guidance, and come in this meeting and get in the very ingredients, and that we know that we will have success. Thy servant prayer. In Jesus' name, all will say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Chief Larry Jeriga, and thank you, Pastor Mike Davis from Prince of Peace, Miami Beach Church, Inc. And now, Madam City Manager, do we have any addition, deletion, deferral, or amendments to the agenda?
No, we do not.
As was published. Thank you very much. Is the agenda set? Yes.
Oh, yes. No, I was just I have a question on the consent agenda.
Oh.
I'll wait till we get there. I'm sorry. I'll wait till we get there.
Okay. Thank you. And now we have Jennifer replacing Jeff. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
For today? Okay. Thank you very much. Are we set to proceed with the agenda?
Mayor, your agenda is set. You may now proceed.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to have a special presentation by Commander Angelo Branson from the Emergency Management Department. We can't hear you, Commander.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Commander Angelo Brenton, Emergency Manager. For a brief update on the numbers, Florida has passed 1.6 million cases since the start of the pandemic. Miami-Dade County is now reporting over 360,000 cases, and North Miami, as of last night, has a cumulative total of 2,641 cases. As we always say, and we'll continue to repeat, North Miami residents are reminded that masks or facial coverings are mandatory in the city of North Miami. It's one of the best ways that we can slow the spread of COVID-19. Even if you're outside, if you cannot social distance, you must wear a mask when you're around others to slow the spread. Mr. Mayor, to answer your question, right now, the vaccine is available for residents who are 65 and over. I just clicked on the site about a minute ago, and it is currently open. Appointments don't last that long, but if residents go to miamidade.gov/vaccine, they can register for an appointment. The vaccines will only be given at this time by appointment only, no walk-ups, and they're giving them at several sites. They haven't opened a site in the city of North Miami yet, but there are about 10 different sites and hospitals across Miami-Dade. So once you get it on there to make an appointment, you can set that appointment up at a location that's closest to your home. I also have a phone number that they just provided. That number is 305-614-2014. Again, 305-614-2014, or go to miamidade.gov/vaccine, and you can set up an appointment for your vaccine. Only if you're 65 and over at this time. And again, I just checked the site about a minute ago, and it's currently open for appointments. So residents should take advantage for that if you're over 65. That's my report. I'll take any questions.
My question, when...
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor. Once you're done, I just have a comment.
Yeah, when Commander Brinson, I understand there's 7 sites. When the site will be authorized in the city of North Miami, so we know when the vaccine become available to everyone, we know we have a site here. Because I was watching the news, and close to us in Opaloka, they already have a vaccine site available. When the vaccine will be available to everyone, then that's where the residents of that area is going to go.
The vaccine sites at this time, they're being set up by the state of Florida. Once they get a site, they decide where they're going to put it. They staff, medical staff, and the National Guard to do security and some of the administrative work. So it is not up to either us or even at the county level where the site's going to be. I did put in a request with the county to be forwarded to the state that we would like a site in North Miami. I'm confident we will get one, but at this stage, since they're only doing medical personnel at the hospital and they're doing 65 and over, we don't have a site in North Miami. But
okay, I understand that we did apply.
I did apply with the county, and they forwarded that message to the state that North Miami would like 1 or even 2 sites in North Miami to make sure that all of our residents.
That's the most important question. I was wondering if we already apply and to get a site here in the city of North Miami. That was my question.
Yes, we're still in the plan stages, and I requested a site to be opened up in North Miami when they do the rollout for the general public.
Okay. Councilman Desilme.
Yes, Officer Branson, I know some residents who are 65 and over, they did tell me when they, I guess, go on the site that the county or the state is monitoring. They did have some issues in reference to, registration. So it's been a little hectic, but which has nothing to do with us. So, but I did have a church who got in touch with me, and we are working on the flyer. I was allocated, I think, 20 or 30 spots of the vaccine that's going to be giving this Thursday. So anyone who does have it, they could call Rosa at our office, and we will be able to register them. First come, first served. I did have some seniors who called and requested that. So if you guys do have some, they can, because it's very, very difficult now, the limited amount that they do have in terms of that. So I guess we'll do it, on an ongoing basis in terms of whatever we could get as we move it on. That's basically that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you have any comment for Commander Benson? No? Commander Benson, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, consent agenda is tab A to E. Councilman Galvin, you.
Thank you. Question for administration on tab D. D is in dog. Can you tell us a little bit about the program briefly, and then how it is we came to contract with FIU for this? As you know, sometimes not the biggest fan of my place of graduation, and don't want to see us fattening their coffers while they're coming at us on the road issue. So if you will, tell us a little bit, please, how this all came about.
Well, first, let me have Tanya give a presentation on the workforce program.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Tanya Wilson with Community Planning and Development. I'll provide an overview of the program. Just as a reminder, the funding source for the program is actually from the CARES Act. So we had received an allocation from the federal government to prepare these programs. It's very specific in terms of the criteria of what you can create. It's intended to help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. So in focusing on programs, the city tailored a program towards contact tracing before. For this one, we're focused on medical terminology, anything that can help in the fight to reduce the spread of the coronavirus in our city is really why the programs were created. FIU is the only institution that's providing that in our city in terms of training programs. So I'm just to answer the councilman's question before I start the presentation. Next slide for me, Ricardo. Okay, so as I mentioned before, funded through the CARES Act. So the tailoring of the program on the national level, Johns Hopkins is really leading the discussion in terms of research and training contact tracers and other medical personnel. So we were able to partner with FIU, but also in their partnership with Johns Hopkins in university, that is the material that we were able to use in this training program that we provided for the city's residents. So it was definitely top rated, nationally recognized, and we were happy for that because all the recruiters that have asked and reached out to us have always asked, where is your training materials coming from? And there's a level of credibility that comes from partnering with an institution like Johns Hopkins and FIU. The total program cost for this cohort is $74,400. We've split it into two tracks. The first track is a general health assistance, and that's starting on February 1st to the 25th. The second one is called the Medical Terminology and Office Procedure Program. That one is starting on March 1st to April 1st. The next slide, please. So just to give you a little bit more detail in terms of what the programs will provide. Based on the data we obtained from FIU, we know one of the highest demands that they have are for personnel that actually have expertise in dealing with COVID-19 and dealing with the patient care. This one is tailored towards folks that are in the healthcare profession or folks that are looking to go into. So they'll help them with office protocol and procedures, the types of preparation you need as a nurse's assistant to be able to deal with social and emotional support. Next one is medical terminology program. We do know that the language and the terminology you use in that type of sector is very specialized and very different. So we created two separate tracks based on the demand that we're hearing from area hospitals and based on the shortage that they're actually having. They're saying that folks that they're looking for with these skill sets, of course, because it's a new challenge with the pandemic, those trainings are not readily available, and the folks that are trained and versed in this don't yet exist in the numbers to help to combat what we're seeing on the ground. In terms of the requirements, of course, you have to be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or a GED, be a North Miami resident, and also have computer access and internet access. Because this is an online program, that was an important criteria. Next slide, please. Looking now at her efforts, we made sure every stone was unturned and every nook and cranny we went into to make sure every single resident heard about these programs and they were aware of what was being made available. So social media, we worked with the PIOs to have that listed on the North Miami website. Facebook, of course, Instagram, we had it on channel 77. We sent the flyer to all the homeless associations since they're on the ground and they're intimately connected with our neighborhoods. We also sent flyers to the mayor and council's office, the key departments like city clerk, because we know we have a lot of foot traffic there. Housing and social service, they're on the ground. We sent the flyers to them as well. Every parks facility has the flyer and the information. Code enforcement, MOCA, the finance department through utilities. Everybody pays a water bill, whether you're in person or online. So they have that information as well. The check-in desk at City Hall, when you walk in, that information is available. Also share the flyer with the CRA. We also reached out to the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, shared the flyer there, the North Miami Chamber of Commerce, the city's community-based organizations. They are the front line in terms of serving the public. We've partnered with many of them annually whenever we provided CDBG program funding. So we sent the flyers that way as well. So Santla and some of the others like Prosperity, we shared our flyers with. The press release, this one at least allowed us to be able to get recognition through Miami Times and Miami Today. When we issued a press release, they actually grabbed it and wrote an article on North Miami's workforce development program. We had a couple slots on Haitian radio on 1580 AM. That was aired twice already, and we continue to do that. The churches as well, we reached out to, and door-to-door efforts. And then the last one is the landlords that are in our database. We pushed it through that avenue as well. These are hand up.
Thank you. And I don't want to belabor the meeting, Tanya. Why did we go to FIU and not someplace else?
So again, FIU is the only institution in our city that provides that contact tracing program and COVID-related training.
Was it a requirement of the CARES program that we had to go to a facility within our city boundaries?
In terms of proximity and access and being able to provide that to our residents, FIU was the only institution that's within close proximity. We did reach out to Lindsay Hopkins, they don't provide it. We've reached out to other institutions. I know there's some other schools within the area, maybe UM and others, but it made sense that we would go with the university that's within our city limits that provides it to the area residents, and they know our population as well.
Allow me to ask the question again. Was it a requirement of the CARES money and the CARES program that we had to choose a university within the city boundaries?
No, that wasn't a requirement.
Okay, that's the crux of my thing. I'm trying not to get, too abrasive with FIU in public, but I do not think it appropriate that the city is spending lots of money with them. Miami-Dade College exists, Berry University exists, Florida Memorial exists. I think we had other options, and I get why we went to FIU. From my standpoint, I'm not a big fan of spending money at FIU as long as they continue to poke and prod at trying to get the road open.
If I can add the Johns Hopkins piece to Councilman, it's critical that we understand Johns Hopkins' role in the training and the credibility that they offer, the research that they've done in helping to stop the spread of the coronavirus. We would lose that if it had not been for the partnership that we have with FIU. So that too is an added important element that I wanted to mention.
I'm going to leave it alone at that. Don't push me anymore. For the staff's edification, as long as they continue to try to angle for the road on 135th Street, I do not think we should be spending any substantive money with them. We shouldn't be having luncheons there. We shouldn't be doing this health program there. We shouldn't be paying for our staff to take any classes there. That is my opinion. And so that's why I wanted to bring this up. And that's all I had. Those are the questions I had, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Estime Irvin.
Thank you. I have a different question. I just want to make and just get a clear understanding. Is this an additional 74,000, or are we reducing from the 165,000 that was allocated?
No, this is just 74,000 from that same allocation. This is not an additional.
Oh, this is not an additional. You're just saying that you're using 74,000 out of the 165, right?
Correct.
Okay. And what is the remainder of the balance doing?
So the remainder has been circulated to the city gift card assistant program. Last December, if you recall, there was a gift card assistance that was given out to area residents. So whatever we didn't use, I know that was refunded through that effort.
So how much money do we have access to here? Is it only the 74,000, or is there a balance?
So if I can interject, the 74,000 is a portion of the monies that we got from the program. So it was already spent and done. The reason why this is coming is because this was an agreement that we had with FIU that we had to sign up to start the program. So this is all spent. There's no additional monies What happened with this program is that we took some of the allocation for this and we moved it towards the gift card program that we had in Miami-Dade CARES Act. So we only left this one with 74,000.
Okay. All of the, how many persons have enrolled? How many students have enrolled?
So far, we have 25 that's enrolled in the February program, and we have 4 for the March program. So the March program is still open. If there's anyone listening and interested in enrolling, we still have availability there.
Are we still continuing the outreach?
Yes, we are.
And I noticed that you have it on 1580. Is that the only radio station you have it on?
Currently, yes.
Can we get it to go on 1320 on 1700? Because if we're intending on getting the community, that's probably one of the things that are most listened to.
So part of the reason why we use 1580 is because we do have a pending slot, so it wasn't going to be additional. We have at this point used all of our monies on door-to-door outreach, and we use door-to-door outreach as one of our heaviest outreach.
When was the door-to-door outreach done, and what area was it done in? And how much money was spent on the door-to-door outreach?
So we had door-to-door outreach for the period of January, probably the last 2 weeks that we've had door-to-door outreach. With my staff, Marlene Monestein was the main one that was overseeing that, going through the city's different districts and sharing the flyer. As I mentioned, it was already shared through the clerk's office and through Housing and Social Service and those avenues. But my staff was the main one that had done the door-to-door on the streets.
When you're saying door-to-door, what do you mean that? I'm talking about you're going to households, or you're talking about just putting it in offices? What is door-to-door?
Just putting it in the offices throughout the city. The main places like the Parks Department and Housing and Social Service where we have contact with the public.
I wouldn't consider that door-to-door. To me, that's, I'm sorry, that just seems a little misleading. Door-to-door for me would be literally knocking on doors and residents. Can we do that? Can we plan to do that? Because this is a great program. As you know, with COVID, a lot of people have a lot of hardship, and I would like an opportunity for someone. I mean, it's great that we've Channel 77, not everyone has cable. 1580, that's not a station that it's a station that is listened to, but most of the residents in District 3 listen. North Miami. I'm always thinking District 3. In North Miami, listen to 1320 and even 1700. What about 99 Jam, Hot 105? What about the Spanish radios? It's a great program. February 1st is around the corner. March 1st, well, these are some stuff March 1st. I think this is just as important for us to find a couple of dollars to make sure that our community is properly addressed on that. Is there email blast going on that? Those are some of the things that I wanted to highlight on that.
Okay, so we'll make a note of that, Councilman, definitely, and make that effort possible. I'll check with the city manager's office to make sure we incorporate that.
I'm done, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any question? We're done.
No, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
The slide that we saw with the 19 and the 1. So how many for District 1 and District 2 and 4? Is 3 people?
If we can bring that back up, Ricardo. We had that slide before. Okay, there we go. So that's a breakdown based on the 2 tracks. The first track, we have 1 person that resides in District 1, 2, 19, and 2, as you see respectively there. The medical terminology is the one that's starting in March. So of course that has a lower count because it's still open for enrollment.
So there's a problem of equity. So what are we doing to resolve that? Because I know all over the city there are issues, especially in, I would understand if the problem would have been District 4 because the problem could have been there's not enough buildings in District 4, but I know District 2 and District 1, you got Center Court, so there are buildings there. There are people who not getting the information, obviously. And I think my colleague kind of mentioned it. So there needs to be, we got to reach to these people. So because I know people need the help, and I don't know, something is not being done. And looking at the numbers, and numbers don't lie. This is horrible. This is very, very shameful.
So I share your concerns, Councilman. We've made universal efforts across the entire city. This is the response that we're getting. You know, there's some individuals.
Miss Wilson, I would not say that based on what I'm hearing, based on the strategies that you know you said you've done. I would say those were you know, respectively.
Yep.
You know, Madam Manager.
We are looking towards those now.
Madam Manager, can you please let me finish my thought? Because you have 5 people up here who have lived in the city and who have done outreach. There's no way that people in your administration, Madam Manager, that you would not reach out to us and say, how do we get to folks in buildings, or, you know, I need to get these information to residents. If they told me, I would have gotten the information to folks that I need to know. So, you know, we cannot continue doing these things. And then when we do the presentation, it was like last meeting was the same thing about businesses, and it's this. So we got to just do a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. You know, and I don't think we got to do the work. I don't think going to businesses or in offices in this city consider outreach. And I think Councilwoman Irving done it, and everybody here done campaigns, so we know the hard work and outreach, getting cussed by folks when you go to their door and stuff like that. And I understand it's COVID, but you know, and we have people and staff who knows what needs to be done. So either they're not doing it or they don't want to do it. So it just needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're done now. And Madam Clerk, consent agenda.
Right. Prior to moving to the consent agenda, did you want to do the special presentation?
We did the COVID. Oh, there is another. Oh, okay. I didn't. Sorry. I didn't know we have another presentation. Yes.
All right. So that's actually me again, Annie Wilson with Community Planning and Development. So back in 2019, the city applied for and was awarded a grant from the Federal Office of Economic Development Administration. The purpose of the grant was to conduct a target industry study. The scope focused on identifying key sectors or businesses in the city's commercial and industrial districts where North Miami has a competitive advantage. So the city retained TIP strategies to conduct the study. The findings will help the city to understand its strengths and be able to tailor our business attraction and retention programs. So today we have John Karras. He's the economist with TIP Strategies, who will provide a presentation on the study findings. So with that, John, over to you.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council, and thank you, Tanya, for the introduction. I apologize for the formatting of the slides. It's a little bit different than the version that I have on my computer, but we can go through this fairly quickly, and I would love to give you some background and just a high-level summary of the economic development and target industry analysis. So the agenda here is really to talk about the project and how it helps move the economy of North Miami into the future. I'll share with you some of the background on the planning process and the data that we looked at and the various input that we got from businesses and key stakeholders in the city, but also in the surrounding region. And then I'll talk about some of the industries that really came to the forefront that are really exciting business growth and job creation opportunities for North Miami over the next several years, and some examples of how those types of things have worked in other communities. Next slide, please. So, okay, it looks like I can control the slides here, so thank you. So as Tanya mentioned, our charge was to really look at primarily the commercial and industrial zoning district in the city, and to identify the types of businesses and industries that could be developed and attracted to grow the local job base and attract new companies into the region, into the city. Next slide, please. So the four industries that we identified, and I'll share a little bit more details on these, were medical services, hospitality and culinary, environmental, sustainability, and arts and design. Each one of those includes some existing businesses that you have, but also growth opportunities. And we've identified a number of areas where the city and its partners can implement strategies to, some of this you're already doing related to short-term responses in light of the pandemic, helping your existing industries grow and expand. And then, of course, putting the infrastructure and the real estate sites into place to allow business growth, and then more of a marketing and attraction effort for business development. Next slide, please. And I'll go through these fairly quickly just to give you a highlight. A lot of the short-term response you're already doing. The business retention expansion work is very exciting because, as the data shows, a lot of your job growth happens from existing industries and helping them expand their supply chains. So yeah, you can go on to the third one there. So real estate and infrastructure is very much focused on the commercial and industrial districts and identifying catalyst projects within those. And these are development opportunities like the Nomi Red Garden opportunity in the Chinatown district on the west side of the community, the downtown area, and then properties around Sole Mia and Biscayne Boulevard on the east side of North Miami. So you can go to the next slide and even the next one after that. And then, of course, it's not just about growing what you have already. There are some really exciting opportunities to attract new investment and develop new industries. One of the things that we're really excited about is the University of Miami health facility that's being developed over in Sole Mia, and the opportunities to develop a medical innovation district, not just on that facility, but surrounding properties up and down Biscayne Boulevard. And the former Johnson & Wales campus is one of those areas that there could be a strategic redevelopment opportunity to bring in additional medical development there. Similar with, we know that in the last year, foreign direct investment has been down, but that will come back in the next coming years, and positioning the city to attract additional investment from Latin America, the Caribbean, and further enhancing the relationships with Chinese investment is something that's a big opportunity. And certainly hotel development in each one of the three major commercial areas in the city is something that, again, it's a challenge in the short term, but mid-range and long term is a very big opportunity for North Miami. And the last one there, environmental sustainability, is something that the challenges have not gone away, and the investments, if you look at major companies like Microsoft and Amazon, they're investing in climate change in innovation funds, billions of dollars. And the work that you're doing as a city with the Van Allen project, some of the other partnerships to really address the challenges of stormwater and sea level rise in partnership with higher education institutions, those things lead to business attraction and investment opportunities. Next slide, please. Okay, next slide. Just want to give you a little bit of background on what informed our target industry analysis. We spent a lot of time meeting with our steering committee, which is on I think the next slide has a list of the folks that helped guide our process. We took 2 different trips in person to North Miami. The last one was the week before the Super Bowl a year ago, almost to the day. And then we had another round of meetings, including a virtual steering committee meeting back in April, when we delivered our draft report and made a lot of edits to the report, which we finalized in May of 2020. But not only did we receive input from the steering committee, which was headed up by Tanya Wilson, as well as a number of other folks from the city's planning and community development, but also local and regional economic development partners that provided input on the target industries. We also met and interviewed with a lot of other businesses and regional partners. We met with the Port of Miami, higher education partners, local businesses that had moved into the city. And even after completing the analysis, we met a couple of times with the new city manager, Teresa Therlis, to further connect the target industry analysis to the new direction and vision and opportunities for the city of North Miami. Okay, next slide, please. And I think on the next slide, we have a summary of what we learned from a lot of the data that we analyzed. And I won't dive into the details here other than to say we did spend a lot of time and provided a lot of data analyzing the city, but also the regional economy, the industry trends. When you look at where a lot of the growth has been happening, even in 2020 and beyond, with high demand industries like e-commerce and warehousing, and even craft breweries. There's some great stories of businesses that have opened in 2020 in the city. We also looked at the real estate market and the potential and impact of Sole Mia, but also the potential of the downtown. And we really wanted to understand from a data perspective what the opportunities were. Next slide, please. We were also asked to look very specifically at the commercial and industrial zoned properties in your major corridors. So we did provide a lot of data analysis on those properties in the city, but we wanted to connect those to the business development and real estate development opportunities that would bring in new tax dollars and new jobs and new investment. Next slide, please. So when we combined the data analysis along with what we learned from meeting with local businesses and key stakeholders, we came to these four major industry categories that include a number of, I guess you could call them niche sectors or subsectors within those, some of which are more locally focused, some of which are more export oriented. And each one of these represents a really good opportunity for the city to build a more vibrant economy and provide more jobs and investment. So I'm going to go through each one of these four in the next, I think, series of about 5 to 10 slides, and then we'll wrap up the presentation, and happy to have some questions and answers and discussion afterwards. So when we look at the medical services, that's one of the most exciting opportunities. I think a couple slides ahead here. And thank you for bearing with me as we go through this fairly quickly, just out of respect for everybody's time. Okay, yes, one more slide, please. So when we look at the medical sector and the potential for a medical innovation district that we talked about a little bit, it's something that the region, South Florida as a whole, and when we met with some folks that were representative of the University of Miami Health Facility, they said that the region has not really been successful as much as it could. If you look at similar regions like Houston, with the Texas Medical Center being a major center of innovation, with MD Anderson and other places around the country that have really developed a medical sector, we see the potential of North Miami to be a key part of further developing that industry. And I think that as a short-term solution, the contact tracing program is a good example of how you can go into that. But really long-term, creating a district. And I think on the next slide, there's a couple of examples of other communities, some of which where we've worked, that have started to or have already had success in creating a medical innovation district in the near south side of Fort Worth. If you look at the Water Street district in Tampa with the Mersani School of Medicine and creating what they're branding as the world's first well-certified kind of a healthy living community. And even where I am here in Austin with our new medical school and the development of the Medical Innovation District that has led to the attraction of Merck, big pharmaceutical company, with their data, big data operations to support life sciences. So those are just a few examples of, if you go big and bold, some of the types of development and job growth that can happen. Next slide, please. So when we think about the hospitality and culinary industry, we did want to focus on some of the portions of that sector that are actually growing rapidly. And when you look at the way that North Miami is positioned, and when we did the data analysis, we saw that you have about half as many people commuting in for jobs from north of North Miami all the way up to Fort Lauderdale, and about half of your inbound commuters come from the south, from the city of Miami. And the position of North Miami to be to provide more of, I guess you could call it the cloud kitchen or ghost kitchen model, which is restaurants that are delivery only. That's one kind of creative, high growth sector within the hospitality and culinary industry. And craft breweries is another one that you've added a couple just in 2020. And the stories around, I think it's the Lost City Brewery being able to start up despite many obstacles were really transformative. And on the next slide, this is another community that we've worked with a few years ago. The Asheville, North Carolina, with their craft brewery sector, is actually $1 billion industry and provides thousands of jobs, not just in breweries themselves, but being able to recruit supply chain companies. So they've recruited a fermentation company that supports the breweries and other companies within that sector. So there's some exciting opportunities that we think North Miami is well positioned for within that. Of course, you have to have the right zoning and the right real estate space to accommodate those types of businesses, which can be a little bit of a challenge, but you've been able to do that for a couple breweries recently. Next slide, please. So when we think about the environmental sustainability, we had a lot of conversations with our steering committee of, is this more of a guiding principle for the type of city that North Miami wants to be, or is it a legitimate business development opportunity? And we really think it's both, because of what you've done as a city to do cleanup efforts on Biscayne Bay, and with the national recognition that you've been able to receive from the Van Allen project. But we also think that because there's big companies investing in climate innovation, and with a new federal administration that is going to be more focused on environmental sustainability, and even a lot of startups that are looking at climate data. So on the next slide, I think, is another example from our client in Asheville, North Carolina, that they happen to have the largest concentration of climate scientists in the country working at the National Climate Data Center. And they're trying to put on events and build an entrepreneurial community that's focused on taking the climate data and creating business opportunities around it. So they held the first event in 2018 called Climate Con, that invited innovators and startups as well as scientists involved in climate data. And they've rebranded that as the Climate City Expo more recently, but they're trying to build an industry cluster around climate data. And we think that North Miami is just as well positioned to be part of that growing industry and investment. Next slide, please. The final industry that we think is really exciting, and we also had conversations with our steering committee about this one, arts and design. So the entire region of South Florida is known for being a destination for the arts, and North Miami with MOCA has been at the center of that for a number of years, decades in fact. And we really see arts as much more than just what takes place within the walls of MOCA, but as more of, and also more than just attracting artists and visitors, but really embedding that within the larger design industry. That when you think about technology and software and user experience design, and even the revitalization of downtown North Miami and other portions of the city. A lot of that has to do with design. And if even small companies, relatively small companies that are focused on landscape architecture and designing the built environment, if you can become known as a place where that happens, those are great recruitment opportunities that can take place locally and provide more jobs and investment. So the remainder of the PowerPoint includes a number of other best practice examples that provide inspiration based on some of the strategies that we recommended. Yeah, we can just kind of flip through these, but I don't think we need to spend any more time of the meeting right now. But I just wanted to let you know that we've taken the time to provide additional examples of business diversification and industry cluster development and some of the results that have happened in other communities around the country. So with that, I will go ahead and say thank you again, and we really are excited about the economic future of North Miami and look forward to any follow-up questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Council members, any questions?
I do.
Yes.
Do you want to go first, Councilwoman Irving?
Sure, that's fine. You mentioned three. Thank you so much for your presentation. Just wanted to clarify the three major corridors that you're talking about. Can you just state that so I make sure we hear?
Yeah, so the three major corridors, just going from west to east, the Northwest 7th Avenue corridor, just a block to the east, or excuse me, block to the west of I-95. That's one of them, the sort of the Chinatown corridor. And then the other one is really Northeast 125th Street, right through the heart of downtown North Miami. That was the other major corridor in concentration, and even extending a little bit up West Dixie Highway, but really focused on the core of the downtown. That's the second corridor. Then the third corridor is really up and down Biscayne Boulevard, from kind of adjacent to Solemia and down farther south. So kind of that larger area of the city.
So when you're saying the West Dixie corridor, you said a little part of it. How far north and south are you talking?
Well, we did analyze the entire corridor through the city, but when we think about the development opportunities, we wanted to focus on what types of development can happen closest to the intersection, I guess, of Northeast 125th Street and West Dixie Highway, and start building from there up West Dixie Highway over time as more investment happens.
One of the things that I definitely would like to see is a concentration outside of all the other boulevards. They already have a life, or a higher potential of having a life on 7th Ave and on Biscayne. I'd like to see a concentration on West Dixie corridor between 125th to 103rd and 43rd, where the city limits ends. And I'm sure in your research, you know that West Dixie, that there has been a zone change in 2015 that allows for all of the real estate development that you're talking about. So I, in my opinion, I find that West Dixie Highway should not be ignored, and there should be a focus on that. So I just want to state that. You noticed, you mentioned that you interviewed stakeholders. In your interview with stakeholders, did you also interview residents of North Miami? I know you interviewed business people, talking about residents.
No, we did not specifically interview residents. We focused on the economic development partners as well as other businesses, and then real estate professionals. That was our task, was to look at the business environment and the development opportunities from the business perspective.
I guess I understand, but a lot of decisions that we have to make includes the residents. So it would have been nice to know that you've interviewed some resident, as some of the decisions you make will impact them. Also, in the industry field, I noticed that you didn't talk about film and tech. I would love to see. I think we have an opportunity here in our beautiful city to chime in on the film industry and on technology. I mean, I think that we could be that small hub where, you know, I like to say that our city is 15 minutes away from Miami International, 15 minutes away from Fort Lauderdale. So this is a nice, you know, this is a nice area for the tech world to find interest in. So I would like to see that.
Yes.
Outside of that, if I have a question, I'll state it. But I've observed. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. The video production and film is definitely a part of the larger arts and design category, so we definitely did include that. So thank you. And technology is really a part of medical as well as the environmental and the arts and design as well. So agree with you entirely that film and tech are both important opportunities for the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there's no other question, thank you for the presentation. Oh, Councilwoman Keys.
Yeah, just quickly, excellent presentation. It really gives us something to look forward to or to aim at. My question is for the downtown development of North Miami, 123rd, close proximity. What type of businesses? We've had to change. We keep rolling over our businesses. We had a complete art district. Seems to have disappeared. What is your recommendation for our downtown to draw manufacturing, tech, and people to our downtown, number one? And the second one is, as far as housing, what are you recommending for surrounding housing to make it so you can live and work in North Miami?
Both great questions. So related to the downtown, it's the types of businesses that are already starting to populate the downtown or have potential. So small office using companies that are involved in professional services, whether they're a design firm like Savino Miller Design Studio, or whether it's a marketing or a advertising company that would be in a smaller creative office space. A lot of it is, if you look at other kind of small but growing downtowns across the Miami area, whether it's Coral Gables or other communities like that, and the types of companies, law firms that occupy financial services firms is another great opportunity. So those are the types of companies that like to be in that kind of a creative, more urban, walkable environment. A lot of smaller tech companies as well. And then your question about residential, the residential reinvestment opportunities of existing housing are important, but also developing additional higher density, higher quality apartments, but also condos, including affordable components, but also including market rate components. And also not forgetting that those should, wherever appropriate, especially on major corridors where there's a lot of traffic, keeping some sort of a commercial ground floor space for retail and restaurants and offices, along with residential on upper floors, would be a recommendation, rather than having just residential on a major corridor like Northeast 6th Avenue or 125th Street, for example, so that you have space for jobs and investment as well as additional housing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I didn't ask my question yet. In reference to, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
In reference to the presentation, I know you mentioned the 3 corridors, and you said from west to east, and I know you mentioned the west part of the city, but I didn't hear much about the west part because most of it was focused on the east and then the central.
Yeah, the north is the Chinatown corridor / Northwest 7th Avenue and the Nomi Red Garden site are huge opportunities. So I don't know where that stands, that property to be redeveloped, if you've made more progress on selecting a development partner. But when I was there last in person, it was being prepared for the Super Bowl site. And just the fact that it's right there with so much visibility on I-95, and the literally tens of thousands of vehicles that pass by there throughout the day, that's a huge opportunity for hotel development, additional restaurant and retail, and perhaps even office development.
So was it left out of the report, or because of those reasons, or huh?
It is definitely included in the report. It is not left out of the report.
Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And now let's move on with the consent agenda.
Unless a member of the City Council wishes to remove a specific item from this portion of the agenda, tabs A through E constitute the consent agenda. These resolutions and items are self-explanatory and are not expected to require additional review or discussion. These items will be reported as individually numbered resolutions adopted unanimously by the following motion: that the consent agenda comprised of tabs A through E be adopted.
Can I hear a motion on the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Yeah, second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Deslamé to approve the consent agenda. The motion was seconded by Mayor Bien-Aimé. All in favor?
Let's see where.
Any opposed?
One opposed.
The motion carries with a 4-1 vote.
Thank you very much. Tab F.
Tab F, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders in the aggregate amount not to exceed $75,000 annually for the provision of original equipment manufacturer, OEM, and aftermarket parts and services utilizing City of Miami IFB number 708382, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. Tab F.
Tab F. Public hearing is open on tab F. Oh, do we have a presentation by staff? Alberto De Strade.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, council members. For the record, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you on the tab F is simply a request for your approval to authorize staff to issue purchase orders for the purchase of vehicle parts, services, and repairs on an as-needed basis to be used by the city's vehicle fleet. As reflected in the council report, in order to be able to maintain our city's vehicle fleet in proper operating condition, it's essential for staff to have access to readily available original equipment manufacturer and aftermarket vehicle parts and services. Therefore, staff is recommending council's approval of this item to authorize staff to issue these purchase orders as needed for an amount not to exceed $75,000 annually, and this is funded from the Vehicle Fleet Fund. Here with me in support of this item this afternoon, City's Public Works Director, Mr. Wilson Pierre Lewis, as well as our Vehicle Supervisor, Mr. Jefferson Keimer. So that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, we'll be glad to take them.
Thank you very much. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on tab F.
Thank you for attending this afternoon's virtual regular council meeting. This meeting will allow live public comment by attendees. Public hearing will take place upon announcement by the chair of the meeting, Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé. From that time, attendees will be able to virtually raise their hand, and this should function similarly to lining up at the podium. If you're participating by phone, please press *9 if you would like to raise your hand, and when it is your turn to speak, a PIN will be sent to you. Enter that PIN to unmute yourself when you hear your name. Attendees cannot leave their hand raised throughout the entire meeting, so if you raise your hand before an item is read, it will be removed. Do not forget to state your full name and complete address for the record, and remember that you will have up to 2 minutes to make your comment. Thank you in advance for your understanding and your feedback. If you would like to speak on tab F, please raise your hand at this time. Once again, if you are participating by phone, please press star 9. And if you are using the web application or the desktop application, please click on the raised hand button.
Thank you very much. Tab F still open for public comment.
Mayor Bieneme, it does not appear that we have any hands raised on this item.
Thank you very much, council members. If there is no question, can I hear a motion to approve tab F?
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Keys to approve the item at tab F. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Tab G, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders to Toshiba America Business Solutions, Inc. in an annual amount not to exceed $108,883 for the provision of copier services utilizing the cooperative purchasing provision pursuant to Section 7-169 of the City Code on a contract awarded through the National Association of State Procurement Officials Cooperative Purchasing Program, further authorizing the city manager to execute lease agreements with the selected vendor, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. Tab G.
Thank you very much. And another presentation, Alberto.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, for the record, Alberto Estrada, Purchasing Director. The item before you is staff's request for your authority to issue purchase orders and then enter the lease agreements with Toshiba America Business Solutions Incorporated to provide the city with copier equipment and maintenance support services throughout city offices. As reflected in the council report, this request is based on a cooperative purchase that was issued on behalf of the National Association of State Procurement Officials Cooperative, which is commonly referred to by the acronym NAFO. On all the states in people entered in an agreement with Toshiba, which runs through December 31st of this year. It has 3 additional one-year renewals to provide access to a whole host of copier equipment and maintenance services. This contract, Toshiba will work with city staff to evaluate specific needs.
Alberto, you have a communication issue. Let's open it to the public. If there's any question, we'll come back to you.
Our needs. Toshiba will also be responsible for providing troubleshooting services for the equipment, as well as provide necessary support and materials necessary to maintain the equipment in good operating condition. As a result, staff recommend
how's it doing that?
He's having technical issues.
For not to speak.
Can you stop it, Ricardo?
Yes, I just muted him.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's open it to the public. Tab G is open to the public.
If you would like to speak on this item at tab G, please raise your hand now. If you're on the phone, press star.
Tab G is open to the public.
Mayor Bieneme, at this time, it does not appear that we have any hands raised on this item.
Thank you very much. Council members, if there's no, and I second that.
Is that Galvin? Yeah. I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab G. The motion was seconded by Mayor Bieneme. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Tab H, proposed second reading ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the city of North Miami entitled Administration, Article 3 entitled Boards, Committees, Commissions to establish the North Miami Commission for Women, providing for repeal, conflict, severability, codification, and for an effective date. Tab H.
Thank you very much. At the second reading, let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on tab H.
If you wish to speak on this item, please raise your hand at this time.
Public hearing is open on tab H.
I'm going to start with a few of the previously submitted comments and then we'll alternate.
Good.
Cassandra Arnold, 425 Northeast 142nd Street, North Miami, Florida 33161. I'm writing in support of the City of North Miami Commissions for Women. I believe this board will have a direct impact on the future of the women who live and work in the City of North Miami, such as promote equality and opportunity by eliminating all forms of gender discrimination to ensure equal opportunities for girls and women, address economic issues and social equality to address all issues that affects the lives of women. I believe the creations of this board will improve the day-to-day lives of all women who live in the City of North Miami, and I hope our mayor and council will vote to approve this board. Marie Etienne, 19830 Northeast 14th Avenue, North Miami Beach, Florida. I'm writing in support of the City of North Miami Commission for Women. I truly believe the residents will benefit significantly because having a board will have a direct impact on the future of the women who live and work in the City of North Miami based on the following: promoting equality and opportunity by eliminating gender discrimination, ensuring equal opportunities for girls and women, addressing economic issues and social equality, addressing issues that affect dignity and the lives of women, such as human trafficking, domestic violence, and gun violence, etc. Furthermore, I believe the creation of this board will improve the daily lives of all women, promoting healthy behaviors and wellness choices for girls and women. I look forward to working collaboratively to support the board as needed for health promotion activities and programs that will enhance the lives of the residents of the City of North Miami, Florida. Marlene Bastian, 100 Northeast 84th Street, Miami, Florida 33138. I support the mayor and city council of North Miami to establish the North Miami Commission for Women. The very first commission of the status of women was established by President John F. Kennedy on December 14th, 1961, to foster women's equality in the workplace and education and in the law. Today, commissions on the status of women are the premier intergovernmental bodies that focus on women empowerment, inclusion, and equity. I was not aware of this, but the City of North Miami is only one of the few big cities that does not have a commission on the status of women. Establishing the City of North Miami Commission on the Status of Women does not suggest in any way that women are not treated well there. It means that just like cities of North Miami Beach, Miami Gardens, Miami Beach, Doral, Miami Beach, et al., North Miami is forward-thinking and committed to creating conditions for women to realize their full potential, especially in male-dominated country and in Florida, one of the 15 states that has yet to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment, a proposed amendment to the U.S. Constitution which would guarantee equal legal rights for all American citizens regardless of sex. I commend the mayor and city council of North Miami, Councilwoman Mary Estime Urban et al., for sponsoring this important item now, especially after the election of Senator Kamala Harris, who made history last week as the first female, first Black, first Caribbean American vice president in U.S. history. What better time for the City of North Miami to show its commitment for inclusion, equity, and peace. Thank you all for your consideration and full support in unity. Nadejville Sain, I am now going to unmute you. Please state your name and address for the record, and please remember that you have up to 2 minutes with which you can make your comment. Nadejville Sain.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Mikael. I'm speaking on behalf of Nadejville Saint. She is with Prosperity Social and Community Development Group. The address is 1175 Northeast 125th Street, Suite 400, North Miami, Florida 33161. I'm in support of the Commission for Women. It's a great program with the City of Miami Gardens that empower and mentor young girls with civic engagement. molding and educating them regarding how civic engagement can be a good asset to prepare them to eventually possibly become a councilwoman themselves. This is an awesome program for the city of North Miami, and we hope that it continues. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Antonio Rodriguez, I'm now going to unmute you. Please state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes to make your comment.
Good afternoon. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I'm speaking on behalf of State Representative Dottie Joseph, 1233 Northeast 8th Avenue, Miami, Florida 33161. Her statement reads, Dear Mayor and Council, it is with great pleasure that I write in support of the ordinance sponsored by Councilwoman Mary Estimate Irving to establish a North Miami Commission for Women. As we celebrate the 100-year anniversary of passage of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which granted women the right to vote, but have yet to pass the Equal Rights Amendment, which would make men and women equal under the law, this commission would be timely. While women have made great strides in many areas of our society, there is so much work to be done at every level. Whether it's in equal wages, equal access to workplace advancement, or just acknowledging our existence in certain spheres where women are woefully underrepresented, having a dedicated commission to explore and address these issues is welcomed and commended. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Public hearing on tab H.
Sally Heyman, 111 Northwest 1st Street, Miami, Florida 33128. I am in support of the City of North Miami creating a Commission on Status of Women board. Currently, Miami-Dade County and several cities, North Miami Beach, Miami, have a Commission on Status of Women. Commission on Status of Women gives women in their communities additional support and voice in the local government. Daniela Levine Cava, 111 Northwest 1st Street, Miami, Florida. I'm delighted to write in support of final passage for the ordinance sponsored by Councilwoman Mary Estimate Irvin per the January 26, 2021 North Miami Council report that will establish a North Miami Commission for Women. As mayor of Miami-Dade County that hosts a commission for women for many years, I can personally attest to the benefits of having such a body as part of local government. Our commission has been at the forefront of bringing important issues affecting women to the attention of the Board of County Commissioners. Examples include support for the passage of a resolution supporting Miami-Dade County becoming the first United States county to adopt the United Nations Convention to End Discrimination Against Women in All Forms and the annual report on the status of women. These actions have led to a number of important policy initiatives that have improved the status of women in our community. In addition, the Commission for Women serves as a critical body for sharing information across the cities and communities and for educating the broader community on issues of importance to the well-being of women and their families, including economic, health, education, and safety concerns. And let's see, Monica Boco Rodriguez, I'm now going to unmute you. Please unmute yourself, state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes to make your comment.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. My name is Monica Scocco Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of the Miami-Dade Commission for Women, and I'm speaking on behalf of the County Commission for Women. The address is 111 Northwest 1st Street, Miami, Florida 33128. Thank you for the opportunity to make some brief remarks in support of creating the North Miami Commission for Women. The Miami-Dade County Commission for Women is an advisory board to the county commissioners on issues pertaining to the status of women, and it also advocates for women in the community and strives to improve quality of life. The work of the Commission for Women is divided into 2 areas: advising and making recommendations on policy and legislation, and engaging women in the community through events, advocacy, workshops, and other activities. Women are negatively impacted by many issues such as the gender pay gap, poverty, and domestic violence. In Miami-Dade County, more women than men live in poverty, especially single women heads of households, and even more for women of color and immigrant women. Women have lost more jobs than men during the COVID pandemic, and women are more likely to have left the workforce to stay home with children for their schooling. So these are just some types of the issues the Commission for Women addresses, and to show you how imperative it is that North Miami have a Commission for Women. So a women's commission in North Miami would be a great asset to the city by providing valuable insight and recommendations to you as legislators and doing similar activities such as a diaper bank drive that we did last year to educate and empower women in the city. Commissions in municipalities help us to partner on more local issues and better support our many different communities in Miami. A growing community of municipalities such as Miami Beach, North Miami Beach, Miami Gardens, and Doral have women's commissions, as do other cities and counties in Florida. Hopefully, with your support, North Miami will be added to that list. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Republicans.
Naomi Blair, I'm now going to unmute you. Please unmute yourself, state your name, and remember that you have up to 2 minutes to make your comment.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, staff, and fellow residents. My name is Naomi Blamir, 685 Northeast 126th Street, North Miami 33161. I am an author, a coach, and a businesswoman here in our city. Most know me as co-founder for Balancing Life. As an advocate for all things women, I salute Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin for her leadership and vision to establish the North Miami Commission for Women. With the election of America's first Madam Vice President, Kamala Harris, and Miami-Dade's first Madam Mayor, Daniela Levine Cava, this Commission on Women is timely and necessary. As of July 2019, there are 62,822 residents in the city of North Miami. 49.8% is female. That's about 31,285 women living in the city. We as a city should lead the charge to ensure the fair and equal treatment of these women. We have a responsibility to address the working and living condition of these women, and we should make certain that these women have equal opportunities. To those on the council and within our community who may disagree, I ask, how can we be so hypocritical? Every success within our community, whether big or small, is achieved on the back of women. We are the pillars and the building blocks. We are the backbone to every movement bringing the change we want to see, whether that is political, social, or connected to our economy. There is not one person under the sound of my voice who does not have a woman impacting their life right now. Why not establish a commission to provide support to those women, to empower them so that they can do more? Doral has it, Hialeah has it, Miami Beach has it, Miami Gardens has it. It's time for North Miami to establish it. Please vote yes for the Commission on Women. Thank you.
Public hearing still open on tab H.
Jim Garrett, I'm now going to unmute you. Please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record. And remember that you have 2 minutes to make your comment.
Thank you, City Clerk, Vanessa Clerk. Jim Garrett, representing his mom, 645 Northwest 132nd Street. First of all, has anyone ever thought about how many city boards we have? And the women in City Hall, some of the women that have to attend these meetings of these city boards and everything. We have too many city boards, and we have too many vacancies on our city board. So we just added another city board, like we have 2 youth boards, Youth Opportunity and Youth Board, and the Youth Board. We need to consolidate our boards and save money. It's going to add more to the bottom line. And who's it going to add to? To my mother, who was a single mother, and she had to pay her tax bill every year. At least she pays her tax bill. Number two, with this, I don't see a board for LGBTQ community. I don't see nothing proposed for that. How about board for men? How about board for the taxpayers of the city that has to pay the bills and everything? And I want to say this, on the LGBTQ, we need that because you want to know this, one of the members of that community spoke about water rates 4 weeks ago, a month ago, and one of our councilwomen rolled her eyes while I was speaking, just like the city administrator who's still sitting up there on that dais made fun of my speech impediment. You want to talk about fair. Fair is fair. We need to look at our bottom line and start looking at what we can do and what we can't do. We can't be everything to everybody. And you want to know this? In North Miami, women have never been discriminated. It started with A.E. May Avil and our 2 councilwomen. What this is to pad someone's political resume for an upcoming campaign. And I'm speaking to Harry Truman's truth about this. Thank you.
Public hearing is still open on tab H.
Louis Pierre, 1175 Northeast 125th Street, Suite 413, North Miami, Florida 33161. Congratulations on bringing such a great topic to the table for discussion. The city of North Miami has been called the city of progress and the city on the move. I believe one thing that was missing to make it even greater is the establishment of the City of North Miami Commission for Women. A few years ago, the Miami-Dade County Commission for Women held their board meeting with the Yoves at the North Miami Library. I wanted the Yove girls to understand what such a great organization was all about and who the women leaders were. One member of the City of North Miami Council attended this board meeting. During this meeting, it was shared with me that the City of North Miami Beach and Miami Gardens had already established their commissions for women. Should the council vote on this agenda item, it will be a great addition to the city on the move. Mayor Bieneme, there are no other hands that are raised on this item, and there are no other previously submitted comments.
Thank you very much, council members. If there is no comments or question, can I hear motion on tab H?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Keys, how do you vote?
No.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Bieneme, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion carries with a 4-1 vote.
Thank you very much. And now let's go to citizen forum. That's where we are.
If you would like to make a comment during Citizens Forum, please raise your hand at this time. If you are participating by phone, please press *9 now. Charles Mayer, 970 Northeast 126th Street. Mayor, council members, and Madam City Manager, is the city talking to any of the tech companies, or for that matter, any big companies like grocers looking to move headquarters to South Florida or establish Latin American headquarters? We do have land and warehouses to accommodate these companies. Thank you. Jessica Alston, whose address we don't have here. Congratulations, David Burney, President and the City of North Miami Chamber of Commerce, upon your 74th birthday celebration. May your 75th year be exceptional. Well done. There needs to be a provision for free Wi-Fi services to the city residents in District 4. Cassandra Timothy, I'm now going to unmute you. Please state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes within which to make your comment.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Cassandra Timothy, 950 Northeast 129th Street. As a lifelong resident of District 2 and someone who loves their city because I work there, I see a great need citywide right now for our aging loved ones. I'm often held at their doors for hours because they're lonely. You know, they've been inside their house since March and no one is visiting them. And they just don't have the information. They don't have technology. All they have is an old flip phone. So I would love to see the city create some type of database where we can definitely log our aging loved ones in the database so that they can get information like the vaccine virus and to talk about the virus as well. It would be great if the city can maybe even start an outreach program to start pre-registering residents for the COVID vaccine so that when we do become a distribution site, and I pray we do, that we can already have those emails and phone numbers ready to go out to our residents, because right now everyone is kind of like in fear, especially our aging ones, because they're just like, they don't even know where to get a vaccine. So to hear that we have some vaccine, I'll be sure to share that with the residents of District 2. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Citizen forum still open.
Jim Garrett, I'm now going to unmute you. Please state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes within which you can make your comment.
Thank you, City Clerk Financial Clerk, Joseph. Jim Garrett, 645 Northwest 132nd Street. We're facing some difficult issues down the road as a city, as a county, as a state, and as a country. And we need to think about what our city is going to be in the future. And we need to align that to what's happening in today's world. On the top lot issue, I'm going to give you some history on that one. That top lot over there is not a District 3 top lot. And that top lot is not a District 2 or District 1 top lot in Breesweb. That top lot is for the whole city. The whole city. When I was a kid, I visited every park in our city from Northwest 17th Avenue to Biscayne Bay Terrace. And that top lot belongs to all the citizens of North Miami. And that top lot issue should have been vetted with the Parks and Recreation Commission. That way it should have gone first. And then it will go up through the ladder and everything. And Mayor Bename is right. Public input is needed before we make a decision. I don't have no issue about the basketball court and the splash pool or anything. But it seems like why you have an issue with your city boards is you don't use them in the proper way. This top lot issue is a good example. Number 2, on the Keystone top lot, Cheryl, I text you the answer. That was put in when the park was remodeled in 1984 under the Lafredo administration when we built the community center there. That basketball court was originally intended for kids from 6 to 17. It was mainly intended for a youth sports program when we used to have Cagney playing Gratney and North Miami Elementary playing Keystone Park. That's what it was intended for when Mike Rosos and Bruce Schick was. It was never intended for an adult basketball park. And the front of the park where the top lot was, that was going to be paid for parking.
Mr. Garrett, I now have to mute you because the 2 minutes have expired.
Thank you very much. Citizen Forum still open.
Mayor, it does not appear that we have any more hands raised. For Citizens Forum.
Thank you very much. And now, council reports. Who's going to come first?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Keys.
No report, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Marie-Estime Irvin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon again, everyone. I just want to thank you, my colleagues, for passing this, the Women Commission ordinance. I would like to publicly thank Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, State Representative Dottie Joseph, and all of the residents, Marlene Bastien, Naomi Blemure, all of the residents that were in support of this board. As usual, just be safe. Continue to wear your mask like Commander Branson stated. As usual, if you need anything, I'm here to serve you. I can be reached at District 3 at northmiamifl.gov. Also, you can contact me at 305-788-2592. Also want to publicly congratulate President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on their inaugural last week, Wednesday. And that's all that I have to say this afternoon. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilman Desilmay. Councilman Desilmay, do you have any report? Councilman Desilmay, do you have any report?
Yes, I had some audio problem. But now are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to say if anyone has any seniors who wanted to get the vaccine done, please have them call Rosa or Rosny or anyone from the office today because they want the list before 6. Today we just been notified, I guess, by UM or whoever is doing it. We thought we had a couple days, but we don't. So that's basically that. And I think that's all the report that I have as of now. Thank you.
And Councilman Desume, and there is people maybe on social media talking about need for food for seniors in the city of North Miami. And before I talk about the North Miami senior citizen, can you talk about the food pantry?
Yes, someone sent me a message, and it's very unfortunate that someone would go on social media and do such a thing, because we have various mechanisms of not only we bring food to the seniors, we may not have the best program, but Councilman Galvin, I must say, has been a champion when it comes to making sure that we do what we do with the seniors. But we have staff, we bring food to the seniors if needed, if they can't get to the pantry. We have been doing social distancing in terms of seniors picking up food. The registration went up from COVID, prior to COVID, from serving 300 folks to over almost 800 people, from my understanding, from the list that I'm getting, and the various food drive that we're getting. Obviously, we can't serve everybody, and there will be a shortfall, but I think everybody on this council, people could text us or could give us a call or send an email if they really truly want to serve and say, hey, this person needs some food. Can the senior program take some food to these people? We have the pantry, it's there, and we have staff, that's what they do. So I totally against people who
we have food available every day.
Every single day from Monday to Friday, from what I know. People do call and they complain maybe about the quantity or the quality, and we always work to improve that. But I have not heard of, what the person shared with me that was posted on social media in terms of that. And I was very, very, it was a little disappointed in the manner, that it was posted.
That's mean any resident right now who need food can call the food pantry and they're gonna do home delivery.
If they can't get out of their house, they will coordinate, or they could call any of the commissioners or anyone, or send an email, and we will get in touch with the particular city person, and we will make sure that they we deliver what we can. And again, we may have some issues in terms of logistic, but we try to resolve those issues internally, and I have not heard issues in the last few months.
Do you deliver hot food or both?
No,
dry food and hot
we
food?
used to. We had a grant. We used to do the hot food months ago, but I think the hot food program stopped, and now we're doing, from my understanding, that's staff knows something. Otherwise, we are back doing the bag food every week. And we just passed $157 from our last thing to deal with the Coney, what's the Cheney brothers, to add more into the pantry. So we're not doing the hot food now.
You have more diversity when it comes to the dry food with the Cheney brothers, plus the other meal that we usually provide to the residents. And on top of that, the city of North Miami, for the past 8 years that I've been on the council, every year we give the North Miami Senior Foundation about $120,000 a year to provide hot meal to citizens living in North Miami, in the city of North Miami. I don't know if Councilwoman Keys can confirm that we have this North Miami Senior Foundation deliver hot meal to the residents.
The city does give fund money to the senior citizens, and we are using it for meals. We also use it a small amount for salaries. We have buses, counseling service, other services, we do have a bus that takes people around due to COVID. I think that's been on hold, but we are giving and distributing as many meals as possible. Anybody also in the need of food or counseling or help, assistance, seniors should call the North Miami Foundation at 893. Oh, I don't have it in my head. 893.
893-1450.
Thank you, Scott. Call them, and we're still open and operating and trying to get meals out to our seniors. Hot meals, frozen meals, meals for emergencies. So thank you. Yeah.
That's been right now, Councilwoman Keys. If a senior wanna some hot meal, they can call the foundation and they're gonna take it to the house, right?
We do have catering. We have delivery. You would be surprised. We provide meals 365 days a year. So some are hot, some are frozen, where you take them out and cook them, and some are shelf stable. It's just call and see what's available, because we've been working with the county also. If we haven't been able to feed meals, we've been directing them to the county for the hot meal deliveries, which the county is doing. But definitely it's a number to call, 893-1450. Thank you, Councilman. And we'll direct them put them in the right direction or get them fed. And as soon as the COVID and everything is better, we will be giving rides again to the stores and local businesses.
Thank you very much, Councilman Galvin.
Thanks. I just want to add that the foundation also does home reassurance phone calls for people that are sitting at home alone, lonely. They've got a stable of volunteers who just call to check in on a weekly or bi-weekly basis to see how they're doing and, just lend a friendly voice.
I'm glad Councilwoman Keys mentioned something I forgot. If somebody need a hot meal, we do have a partnership with the county, and they have been extremely well. If they call us, we do have a list that we send to the county. They will deliver frozen meal to the resident, and that's every 2 weeks that the truck will come by in a box, and they'll have that. So, as a matter of fact, the county was calling us to access for more people. And they were saying North Miami did not participate as much as North Miami needed to. And some of our people in our program, they didn't need the meals from the county. So that was an issue that they wanted something else. So if somebody have an issue with the meal, that's something totally different. And I'm pretty sure we cannot serve everybody. There's almost 80,000 people in this city. The North Miami Senior Foundation is doing an amazing job buying shorts bomb. There's different organizations. I mean, even Feeding South Florida, all these other organizations, we all are trying to do what we can. And I think somebody said we are not in the, we quickly learn how to do what we do. And the social service department, we just had it the past 4 years. So we're doing the best we can. And if anybody out there wants to help or has someone email the council or just call us and let us know. But in case of, I don't know anybody who's going hungry, to say the least. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now let's go to Madam City Clerk for a report. And we do have a board appointment, Ingrid Aguilar. I don't know if you're going to do it yourself, Madam Clerk, or should we call it before you?
Which board is she being appointed to?
They sent me an application, I think, Quality Education Board and Youth Opportunity Board, for those two boards. I think it's Ingrid Aguilar, 13335 Arch Creek Road, Miami, Florida, 33161.
And you're making this appointment?
If I have an empty, yes.
Okay, so you'll have to give me a few minutes to look that up so that I can tell you.
Mr. Mayor, what board was that?
It's a Quality Education Board and Youth Opportunity Board.
I think I appointed her to the Youth Opportunity Board 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you did that 2 weeks ago. Oh, they sent it to me. Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, it didn't get communicated to the clerk's office, I guess.
Oh, okay. That's mean it's been appointed before that. Madam Clerk, your report.
So let's see here. So for Youth Opportunity Board, the vacancies are Mayor Bieneme. You have 2 vacancies. Councilman Galvin has 2 people already on there. Councilwoman Keys has 2 people. Councilwoman Estime Irvin has 2 vacancies, and Councilman Desilme has 2 vacancies, and then there's 1 at-large vacancy for the Youth Opportunity Board.
Did you see Ingrid Aguilar on that board?
No, she's not on that board. We have not made any appointments to that board as recently.
Okay, I'll make the appointment, Ingrid Aguilar, to this board also.
And then for the Quality Education Board, you do have a vacancy. Councilwoman Keys has a vacancy. Councilman Galvin has a vacancy. Everybody has a vacancy, actually, for the Quality Education Board.
Okay.
So you're making an appointment to both?
Yes, Ingrid Aguilar, it's for 1 because Councilman Galvin already appointed her to the Quality Education Board. Oh, the Youth Council.
To the Youth Council.
Okay, add her to the Quality Education Board. Go ahead, Councilman Galvin, you can do that.
Thank you. Back in November, I nominated Ingrid to the Youth Opportunity Board to replace Maxine Haber. Ms. Haber has moved out of the city, so I appointed her back then. For some reason, it didn't get communicated to Ingrid, so she sent her resume a second time. At this stage, I've only appointed her to 1 board, Youth Opportunity Board, replacing Maxine.
Okay. Madam Clerk.
I'm going to review the minutes and the recording of that meeting because we have it under a different board and we've communicated.
Okay, maybe we will review that next.
So you're going to do, yes, that's fine. So you still want to make the appointment to Quality Education?
If it's the seat is available, yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
Councilman Galvin make the motion and I second it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. So just a reminder to everyone that May 11th, we will be having municipal elections. And so that is Tuesday, May 11th. If you are interested in becoming a candidate, please stop by the city clerk's office or give us a call so that we can get you started on your way. In addition to that, for people who would like to vote in this election, if for some reason you have not yet updated your voter registration information, you've changed your address, or need to make any changes in your name, party, whatever the case is, please feel free to reach out to us as soon as possible so that we can help you update your voter registration information. In addition to that, on February 18th, we'll be hosting a clean campaign class with the county and the ethics commission of the county. And so that'll be a great opportunity to make sure that you meet all the legal requirements, you understand all the legal requirements. The Miami-Dade Department of Elections will also be present to answer questions. So we will share more information as it becomes available. And that is all.
Thank you very much. City Attorney report.
No, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Madam City Manager.
Sorry, no report from the city manager.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you very much. Are you gonna, Madam Clerk?
25 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
Who made the motion?
Councilman Galvin, and I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any approved? Any opposed, excuse me.
Does it matter?
Motion passes with a 5-0 vote. It's 3:50. We are adjourned.